my mind of what I want next. I want to beat Bilal Muhammad, make it undeniable.
As soon as JDM started respecting the takedown too much and not coming forward is when...
Day night, I went out for dinner with Rebecca. We're walking.
But it's a fact. Conor and Ali are...
Garry just made one of the most audacious calls of the year, outlining his entire strategy for ending Islam Makhachev's illustrious run and winning the welterweight title. At 170 pounds, Garry claims he is a level above the best guys, including Shavkat Rakhmonov, who is the only person who has ever defeated him. Additionally, the Shavkat scenario remains unclear. His injury was actually rather serious, and for weeks, Russian media said he was thinking about retiring because he thought the UFC was more interested in celebrity than hard work. However, Rakhmonov appears to be locked back in for the time being, intent on making a comeback. Garry didn't end there. He called Islam's team's matchmaking method calculated and safe, aiming at them directly. He claims that because Kamaru Usman is the least risky choice, they chose him. He claimed that the Nigerian, who is nearing 40, is hardly in the top 10 and far from the title picture, holds no significance in the division. Garry thinks that Islam's request for that battle is just an attempt to secure an easy 17th straight victory. The Irishman is adamant that Islam should look at the new, eager competitors rather than fading names if he wants a serious challenge. Additionally, he believes that he's the division's future and the one who can end the Dagestani streak.
My mind of what I want next. I want to beat Bilal Muhammad, make it undeniable that I'm next in line for that title. I want to stop Islam's continuous win streak of 16. He's never going to get to 17 because he's going to face me next. I then want to defend it against Shavkat Rakhmonov because it's the right thing to do. I need that win back. Prove to the world and to myself that I am just levels above him. And then I want to fight Carlos Prates in Rio de Janeiro. Do it in the most beautiful place in the world. Beat him in his own country, my adopted country. The Brazilians love me more than I love him. That's a fact.
Speaking of the top 5 welterweight fighters, Jack Della Maddalena has been under intense criticism ever since he lost to Islam Makhachev. Garry attacked him right away, claiming that Jack was very uncompetitive and folded as soon as Islam touched him. Garry even asserted that JDM will undoubtedly make excuses rather than take responsibility for the defeat, which only served to intensify the criticism. Then, on his podcast, TJ Dillashaw explained everything. He went over every technical error Jack made, from the grappling sequences to the defensive responses. However, even TJ acknowledged that none of it would have altered the result. A lifetime of expertise is the foundation of Islamic wrestling, and very few people can manage that at welterweight. As of right now, Kamaru Usman, Shavkat Rakhmonov, and Garry, the only man who has ever taken Shavkat's back and put him in serious difficulty on the ground, are the only fighters that many genuinely think may pose a threat to Islam at 170. It won't be until May 2026 that Makhachev returns. Ilia Topuria will fight before Ramadan, thus we will finally know what Islam's future holds when Muhammad returns. Let's now examine TJ's breakdown.
As soon as JDM started respecting the takedown too much and not coming forward is when Islam was able to hit those. Like, look, he sets up his double leg from this distance now. Like, JDM's like giving him this distance. To where before he was coming forward and throwing big hooks and keeping him on his back foot and keeping him chin high and backing up. That's where he could have beat him. But as soon as he like gives him his distance and lets him be comfortable, Islam dives in on those double legs, and they're fast. They're fast double legs. Yeah. But Islam's got good striking, but his biggest weapon in his striking is his threats of takedowns. I mean, doesn't come from a wrestling background. This is like decades of wrestling. Yeah, I mean, he's trying these buggy chokes and things on the ground, but like jiu-jitsu is not fighting. Not even close. Like, you can't train jiu-jitsu for MMA. You got to train MMA jiu-jitsu. It's a completely different sport. When you're on bottom, get into that deep half guard, go into a single leg rather than trying to omoplata out or butterfly sweep, right?
Pereira Alex. At UFC Qatar, Michael Bisping was just confronted by Alex Pereira. Yes, you heard correctly. Additionally, this wasn't the typical cool-headed Alex we know. This time, he approached Bisping directly, glared him down, and the situation quickly became tense. Bisping claimed that there was a shift in the energy and that Alex appeared to have been waiting to address something. Plio Cruz, Alex's coach, then intervened and added fuel to the fire by criticizing Bisping. As a result, things quickly got worse. What caused all of this then? It all stems from what Bisping said following Pereira's defeat by Ankalaev at UFC 313. Bisping questioned Alex's mindset and claimed that there was no true passion or intensity in the performance. Alex remembered that. He has harbored negative thoughts towards Bisping ever since that evening, and he had never shown it before till this current face-to-face. To be honest, Bisping wasn't lying. It was difficult to see the first Ankalaev fight. In there, Alex did appear sluggish and disengaged, in stark contrast to his performance against Ankalaev in the rematch, when he dominated him and gave the Dogani no opportunity. In 2026, Pereira will face either Carlos Ulberg or the victor of Aspinall and Ngannou. Okay, let's start the video.
Day night, I went out for dinner with Rebecca. We're walking back to the hotel. He's standing outside the front of the hotel with his translator, trainer, manager, whatever. You know who I'm talking about, Paulino Cruz.
Paulino Cruz, yeah.
Yeah, I'm walking over. I see him there. I'm like, hey, champ, good to see you. Shook his hand. He just looked at me like he wanted to kill me, right? Yes, and I was like, maybe he's seen some of my analysis or something. And
I know.
Like it. And then I shook his translator's hand, and his translator, he's like, oh, firm handshake. I'm like a little shit talky as well. I'm like, what's going on, boys? I'm off to bed. Don't beat the out of
Kamaru Usman does not accept Dana White's bizarre story about Francis Ngannou, nor does he believe Dana White's account of her altercation with Ngannou. Following a heated encounter at the UFC office, Dana went viral, alleging that Francis had touched him. In his response, Kamaru essentially stated that the entire situation simply doesn't stack up on his show. The Nigerian Nightmare made it apparent that he doesn't think the tale occurred as Dana claimed, even though he didn't outright accuse Dana of lying. He argued that the situation Dana describes simply doesn't make sense when you try to visualize it. He described how absurd it would appear if Francis barged into Dana's office, demanded $50,000, and gave him and Hunter orders as if he were the building's owner. People's perception of Dana's story was that. Furthermore, Kamaru finds it utterly unimaginable that this would ever occur. Everyone around Dana behaves differently, the man remarks. Everyone maintains their sharpness. Everybody acts in a particular manner. You don't simply enter Dana's office, seize him, demand money, and begin yelling commands at him and Hunter Campbell. That's why, even though he doesn't explicitly state that Dana's account is untrue, he thinks it's very difficult to accept. He simply doesn't think it happened the way that quote led everyone to believe. In a recent presentation, Dana White explained that fighters should earn their money ethically rather than by storming into offices and demanding incentives. Now let's start the video.
But it's a fact. Conor and Ali are here. When you talk, they're equal. When you talk about mental warfare and the ability to get in the guy's head and the ability to talk up a fight, he's Ali level. Yeah. He really is. Fighting got him into a position where he could capitalize on all these different things outside of fighting. And very few, I'm trying to think of who else has been able to do that. Everybody else has had to make all their money in fighting. Yes. You know, maybe they had a couple things go on here and there. Nobody has done it outside of the octagon or ring at the level that Conor McGregor has.
I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.